and Andrea O'Hara, who we are excited to welcome as the new Executive Director of our Office of Child and Youth Success. Can we give it up for Andrea, please, everybody? Welcome to the city. So as mayor, I've set the objective of creating a city that works for all of us. And that means ensuring equity in everything that we do, opportunity for every community to thrive, and elevating the voices of those historically unheard and underserved. For too long, it has been my observation. Yeah. Just give it a moment. Okay. It's a stark reminder of what we need to do around here, everybody. It's been my observation that the city of San Diego has not done enough to support our young people or invest in their well-being and their future here in our city. Young folks are our future leaders, and they're the best way to ensure that our city is left in good hands. In order to do that, we need to increase the opportunities to access all kinds of options here today. That's why Council President Elo Rivera, Councilmember Campillo, and I established the Office of Child and Youth Success in last year's budget. It's also why I'm seeking additional funds for that office in our proposed budget, which I'll be presenting to the City Council later this afternoon. Today, I'm so excited to announce Andrea's new role as the Executive Director, where she will help us to create a better San Diego for young people and their families. She joins the city after more than 12 years of supporting child and youth programs, both in our public school system as well as in the nonprofit sector. As the first ever Executive Director of the Office of Child and Youth Success, Andrea will help launch new programs and initiatives to focus city resources on supporting youth in career development and training, accessing mental health resources, and other focused support for children and families. Identifying new partnerships and funding sources will be key in growing the impact of this office in the coming years. I believe she will be more than capable of doing that. Another key component of this effort is to make sure that our city employees have the child care they need to help them succeed, because supporting youth is supporting their families as well. And we look forward to making some more progress on that later this year with Councilmember Campillo and Councilmember Kate. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce a tremendous partner in this effort, a longtime advocate for our youth, our City Council President, Sean Elo Rivera. Council President?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Very, very excited to be here today. Over 15 years ago, in response to tragedy, advocates in the city of San Diego, pastors, youth leaders, parents, started advocating for an office just like the one we're announcing today. They were responding at the time to an increase in violence that was taking the lives of young people. It was heartbreaking, and despite their efforts, that office that they were advocating for never came to be in previous administrations. Today, we find ourselves in a similar situation. Over the last 2 years, so much of what youth need and have come to expect in previous generations has been taken away from them. And now we are seeing the consequences of that. Mental health is suffering, increases in violence are once again upon us, and the results are heartbreaking, just as they were a decade and a half ago. The difference is how the city of San Diego is responding. So instead of those advocacy efforts going unheard, we responded. We responded last year by funding this office, and we are responding with the launch of the office today. Children, youth, and parents all have been suffering as a result of what's been going on, and this is our way of showing you the city of San Diego hears you. We know that you're going through a hard time, and we're here to support you in a real and systemic way. It's often said that youth are our future, and as I have often said, they are not just our future, they are also our present. They should be our priority, our focus, and our consideration and our decision-making every single day. I had the honor of working with young people during my time as a coach, as a mentor, as a teacher, and when I worked at the nonprofit Youth Will, where I saw young people on a consistent basis surprise other adults with all that they know, all that they can do, and consistently reiterating to me, without saying so, that their potential is limitless if we give them the space and support to shine. San Diego should be a city where every young person has an opportunity to be happy, healthy, and prepared to reach their potential. That sounds like a beautiful, beautiful city to me, and one that we are stepping toward creating. After years of advocacy, we are now taking action, investing in youth and children by establishing an office dedicated to making that vision I just mentioned a reality. The mayor revitalized the Youth Commission, and together we've created the Office of Child and Youth Success. And I'm so excited for the next step with the appointment of Executive Director O'Hara to provide the office with leadership and direction. Ms. O'Hara, I'll tell you, we're very excited for you to start, and no pressure, but there are high expectations. The community has been working for years to create a vision and a path for what this office can do. There's an expectation of community engagement. There's an expectation of the city in a completely new way, investing in and supporting children, youth, and families. But I believe you're up to the task, and I know that because of leaders out in the community, like young folks, Warsan Artan and Sophia Haidari, and adult advocates for children, youth, and families like Courtney Baltiski and Laura Cohn, that the city of San Diego has the support by way of the wisdom in our community to make this office a success. So I am very much looking forward to this getting off the ground. I am very, very excited to see San Diego become a world-class city for young people. And with that, I'd like to introduce a champion of children and youth as well, a key partner in making this office, helping this office be funded last year, Councilmember Raul Campillo.
Thank you very much, Council President. It was my honor to partner with Council President Elo Rivera last year as we worked to spearhead getting the funding in the budget for the Office of Child and Youth Success. And I have to thank Mayor Gloria for including my office and the District 9 office in the conversations over the past year as we designed the job description, tried to figure out what the scope and model of this office was going to be, because Council President Elo Rivera spent so many years in the nonprofit sector, in the community college sector, understanding what young people need. I'm a former public school teacher, understanding particularly what young children, elementary school children need, and in particular, what parents are looking for out of their city government. This is the type of thing that city governments don't typically do. We've seen a few models around the country, and we decided we were going to look at what leaders were doing to help children, invest in children, and invest in parents and their families. And here we are today to set this up and to really hand over the reins of this to Andrea O'Hara. What I want parents in San Diego to know is that Mayor Gloria has selected a champion for children. Over the last decade, she has been working the San Diego Unified School District on so many different projects. Contracts in procurement, budgeting, diversity and inclusion, HR, so many different things that parents really are focusing on in their school district. She has been a leader in it. She has already been delivering for families in a different governmental agency, and so I have to applaud Mayor Gloria for picking someone who is going to bring such fervor and passion and expertise, experience to the city of San Diego. Parents should know that today their children are in better hands with Mayor Gloria's choice of Andrea O'Hara. So really, this is an exciting time for all families throughout San Diego. I really do think that every dollar we invest in our children is a dollar well spent. The return on investment is more than just some number, some multiplier, because right now children are hurting, parents are hurting, and this is how the city of San Diego is going to focus in on helping families, whether it's looking how we can connect with child care organizations to create more child care slots, which is a huge priority of mine, whether it's empowering youth to have a voice in city government, in legislating, and making sure that their advice is making its way to policymakers, to the council office, and to the mayor. We know that young people, they tell it just like it is, and they see it very, very clearly from their point of view. So in terms of policy, in terms of budgeting, spending, management, and of course, just making sure that the youth know that they have a role in our democracy. This is a very important day for the city of San Diego. So thank you so much for your partnership, Council President Elo Rivera. Thank you so much for your wisdom and practicality and open ear, Mayor Gloria, and having us all involved in this selection. And just have to say that the people in the city of San Diego need to know we have an excellent choice for our new Director of the Office of Child and Youth Success, and I'm happy to hand the microphone over now to Andrea O'Hara.
Good morning, everybody. I am humbled by those words, but also encouraged and excited to lead this office, an office that has been in the works for many years, and San Diego should feel lucky and blessed that we have already visions and a mission established, and it'll be my job to take my experience and my passion and make sure that this office comes to fruition. We have great partners already in San Diego, key stakeholders that I'll work with, gathering data, hearing voices, listening to what the city needs to make sure that we can bring all of the services that we're lacking here to the children and youth in San Diego. Thank you.
Andrea, thank you so much. And let me just let you know, we did a national search, and we ended up with Andrea. And I will tell you, she did an exceptional job, as was mentioned by the council president and the council member. Impeccable credentials, lots of local experience, great relationships. The city has been endeavoring to work in this space for some time. We have a wonderful relationship with San Diego Unified School District. That's expressed in our joint use fields all across the city, where we take often school district property and put it into use after hours on the weekends and at nights. But we want to take it to the next level, right? And so whether that's building on relationships with YMCA at places like Jackie Robinson Y in southeastern San Diego or elsewhere, we know that we can build deeper and more impactful relationships that benefit the children of this community as well as their parents. So watch this space for under her great leadership. I believe that we will deepen and grow that impact with the help of Council Member Campillo and Council President Elo Rivera. There will be a lot of leadership coming out of the City Council, and we'll be doing everything we can to make sure that this office is set up for success, for the success of our youth. So thank you for being here. Happy to try and answer questions. Happy to take questions. Yes, sir.
Mayor, are there not other city agencies that are addressing these issues? Why do you need them?
There are some that touch upon this issues. Our City Park and Recreation Department obviously does a tremendous amount of recreational programming that is enjoyed by many of our children. Our Economic Development Department does some workforce issues that benefit youth. But we can do more, and we need to do more. Particularly, I think, as Councilmember Campillo mentioned, around the issue of childcare. People are very frustrated about housing costs, but I hear a lot about the cost of childcare. The city has a permitting responsibility. We have some properties. Council President and council member have done an exceptional job of inventorying properties the city has that may serve as good childcare facilities. So I think that's a small example of where we can go deeper and do more. I might ask the council president and council member if they want to add on to that, because this is in many ways their vision for what the city can do more of.
It's a really good question. So there's a lot of folks who do a lot of work with young people throughout the city. And one of the things that I saw in my role as an advocate was how rarely those different entities were talking to each other. And so it made the work less efficient and less effective. And so for the city, while Parks and Rec might be doing some programming with young people, and our homelessness services are obviously connecting with young folks, very rarely is there someone who's convening those entities together to make sure that they're maximizing their impact. And so really a core part of the vision for this office is to be that convener, that with the power of the city of San Diego behind it, a leader like Ms. O'Hara can convene leaders throughout San Diego, service organizations, city departments, the school district, the community college district, and say, how do we build a system that is set up to take young folks from birth to adulthood and put them on a pathway to success? And without that cohesive plan, without someone leading and helping folks work together and find the way in a really systematic method, we're just hoping that it turns out okay for young people. And this is a way of being much more intentional about that. And that's why it was so important to get this office established, and I'm so excited to see the work done.
The only thing that I'd add is that someone with Ms. O'Hara's experience in contracting and procurement at the Unified School District, understanding all the opportunities and programs, particularly as it relates to grants from state, federal, nonprofit, philanthropy, those are programs that we should be getting money for at the City of San Diego that we can run through our departments. And so I think that her well-rounded understanding of all the opportunities children have, bringing that to the City of San Diego, as so many parents, their first touch point is the library or the park. Using those as the nodes, her experience are going to really make sure that parents know where to go to get opportunities for their children.
I'd like to touch on that because my experience in contracts and procurement does translate over into this office, because I've had the opportunity over the last 13 years to be the face of the district with these nonprofit organizations and be able to understand how to navigate those complicated processes and get the services to students quickly and effectively. And I think that's what we need now. We've taken too long, especially during the pandemic. We see an uptick in youth that need these services, and taking 6-9 months to get a contract executed and work with other government agencies just is not going to be feasible. And I'll be able to bring that process improvement to the city and be able to get to those services to the students quickly and efficiently.
Anyone else? I know the mic's not working so great. We'll do some one-on-ones. Thank you guys for being here today.